Today we're going to be talking about persuading people to buy. Persuading people to buy. Let's start with the definition of selling that helps you persuade people. You see, because if your definition of selling is wrong, your ability to persuade will be wrong. For example, if your definition of selling is the exchange of money for goods and services. If you notice, in that definition, there is no persuasion in that conversation. It's just an exchange. This means when you bring the money, or when you bring the money, I bring the products, or vice versa. Now, that definition takes persuasion out of the window, because a lot of times when you sell, the person you're selling to was in some cases not even looking for your product or service. There are times when someone is in the market for something, maybe for a property, for an IT solution, for an insurance policy. The person is in the market for it. And when the person sees what you have and likes the value you're offering, feels the price is worth the value, or the price is less, the price is he's getting more value than the price, immediately he decides, you know what, let's go ahead. He's in the market for it. But persuasion comes to play when someone was not in the market for something. You met the person and you helped the person reprioritize their scale of preference. And the person started to feel, you know what, instead of buying this, let me do this. Instead of taking a step, let me take this step. So they were not in the market for that property. They were not in the market for that insurance policy. But with the way you spoke to them, with how you presented yourself, the success stories you shared, everything you did helped them make that buying decision. So this definition of selling is what positions you to be that person that persuades. And what's this definition? Selling is proving that what I'm giving to you is greater in value than what I'm telling you to pay, or than the money I'm telling you to pay. So the whole idea is that when you sell, you're persuading, you're proving to the prospect, Mr. Prospect, what I'm giving to you in this property, in this insurance policy, in this IT infrastructure, what I'm giving to you is far more in value than the money you're going to be paying. Now, this also means, from this definition, that the goal of selling is to prove to the prospect that he or she is underpaying. Now, of course, you're not going to tell the prospect, Mr. Prospect, what I'm giving to you is greater in value than what I'm telling you to pay. You're not going to tell the prospect that. No. But you're going to show it. You're going to demonstrate it. And there are certain tools you have at your beck and call to demonstrate it. Number one, your convictions. Are you convinced that what you're giving is greater in value than what you're telling them to pay? Are you convinced? There are signs of a salesperson who is not convinced. Number one, they say things like, product is too expensive. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you say the product is expensive, you cannot sell it. You cannot sell it. Someone says, Iyore, but I believe the product is expensive, but I've been selling it. Trust me, if you've been selling it, you probably are not number one or the best in your company in terms of meeting sales targets. You probably are not able to meet the sales targets that are set for you. If you believe it's expensive, but you don't sell it. If you believe it's expensive and you're selling it, you're probably selling at a very low level. Imagine how you probably sell if you believe that the value is greater than the price. What does it mean to be expensive? To be expensive means the price is more than the value, or the value is less than the price. That's what it means to be expensive. So the moment you can sell this product to yourself, the most important sale you must make when you sell is selling this product to yourself. You buy your products. Buy it. Someone says, Iyore, but I don't have up to 500 million. Our property costs 500 million. How can you tell me to buy the products? Then use the power of your imagination. Put yourself in the mental state. You see, the body doesn't know the difference between what it imagines and what it really experiences. Put yourself in that mental state and say to yourself, you know what? Let's assume I have 1 billion right now, or I have 3 billion right now. I see this property I'm selling. Would I take 500 million to buy this property? Put yourself in that mental state. The moment you can put yourself in that mental state and buy that product in your mind, ladies and gentlemen, you will know that it's truly not expensive anymore. It's just the issue around the value greater than the price, or in some cases, around finding the right prospects. Because if someone doesn't have the resources, it doesn't matter the value they see, they still can buy it. And that's why profiling is very important. My next point behind convictions, but let me say one more thing about convictions, please. Ladies and gentlemen, buying is an emotional thing. People make decisions to buy emotionally and justify it logically. Because it's an emotional thing, that's why there's a definition of selling that says that selling is a transfer of emotions. Selling is getting to that point where you are so enthusiastic, so excited about what you're offering, such that when a prospect comes close to you, they feel the enthusiasm. They feel that excitement. And that excitement they feel from you is what they now use. Is that emotion they now use to make that buying decision. So it just shows you that when it comes to selling, the influence, the persuasion you require is coming from you. It's not as if when you're selling to someone, you're saying, well, if he's in the market to buy, he will buy. If he will buy, he will buy. If he will not buy, he will not buy. So some people have some wrong mindset about selling. If he will buy, he will buy. If he will not buy, he will not buy. Then why did they send you as a salesperson? Why did you take that job? If it's as simple as if they will buy, then why are we hiring salespeople? We should have just put billboards, put adverts online, and leave it to people to make their decisions. No! We need salespeople because we need them to come with their emotions, their enthusiasm, and transfer that enthusiasm to the prospect. Persuasion means overflow. When we say, oh, persuade this person, we're saying we're saying overflow with enthusiasm, overflow with excitement, and let it get to the next person. That's what we are telling you when we're saying persuade. Where is your excitement? Where is your enthusiasm? Where is your zeal? Have you seen the value? The more you think about your product, the more excited you'll be because you know that your product is changing lives and helping people. Ladies and gentlemen, my next point, to persuade people, use questions. Let me tell you why questions are important. Because you see, if you don't ask questions, you will not be able to put value in perspective. Questions are the tool you use to put value in perspective. What do I mean to put value in perspective? To put value in perspective means value, there's no such thing as value. Value does not stand on its own. Value is only value with respect to the vacuum it can fill. This means if you have somebody who is sick, has a terminal disease, what that medicine is to that person is more valuable than someone who is not sick, no terminal disease, but just wants to take that medicine for routine checkup. Hey, routine checkup versus illness, which has a greater impact via the medicine? The sickness. That's why it's more valuable. But if you don't ask questions to know if there's a sickness available, you will not be able to communicate that this solution is the value that you require. So my point is that you use questions to identify needs so that those needs can be filled with the products. Then there is great value. The greater the need, the greater the value. You use questions to identify desires. So those desires can be filled with the products. The greater the desire, the greater the value. You use questions to identify aspirations. The greater the aspirations, the greater the value. So ladies and gentlemen, ask questions. Identify what exactly and how these products can meet a need. Where are the gaps? Hey, when you're selling, look for the gaps. A salesperson is a problem finder. A salesperson is a gap finder. You're looking for the problems. You're looking for the gaps so that your products can fill those problems. Your products can fill those gaps. Another thing is that, number 3, when you're selling, where are your testimonials? Those who are bought from you, what are they saying? See, you can be so excited and people are like, wow, I want to buy this thing. You ask questions, you identify the needs. The person is like, whoa, I really need this. But there could be some doubts, which affects people from being persuaded. How do you eradicate the doubts? You share testimonials. Where are your success stories? Where are your success stories? Those who are bought from you in the past, what are they saying about your product or service? Are they excited? Do they have good things to say? Have you gone back to meet those who bought from you to ask, oh, how are you enjoying the product so far? Can you tell me 1 or 2 things that you've enjoyed from this service? Don't ask prospects, do you have any problem that I can resolve it? If you ask about problems, you will find problems. If you ask about what are you enjoying so far, you will find things they're enjoying so far. And when you find those things, with their permission, get them on video. With their permission, get them to write a letter. Get it on text or audio, whatever format you choose. And share those success stories every time you sell. The more testimonials you can share, the better your persuasion will be. Think of a table. If a table has only one leg, it probably will not stand. If it has two, it will not stand. If it has three, it may not be so stable. Well, at least from three, you can be sure that you can get it to stand. Right? But if you have four, stronger than ever. Five, unbeatable. Six, can never fall. My point is that each leg of the table is like a testimonial. The more testimonials you have, the more assurance you give the prospect that they're going to make a right decision. Thanks so much for watching today's video. I'm sure you've been blessed. You can like, please remember to like as long as it's blessed you. If you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe here as well. If you haven't watched the next video, you can watch the next video. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.